I'm not really using the I'm not really using the to display name and to image. I'm always using from image and from display name. So I will delete the to display name part from the chat.js, and I will also delete the to image from the chat.js, and also in the object 2 I'll delete the to display name and to image. And instead of the display name, I'll from display name I'll put only display name and image. Same thing here, I will only put display name and image. So to make it simple, and I'll save it. And I'll do same changes here. It will be only image and it will be display name. So I'll do this change, and you also do these two changes on the chat.js and messages.js file. And I'll test the things. If so, I'll go to the messages and I'll put in the URL, the user ID, and then I can, since I removed the name and image, but all these previous messages was saved with the from display name and from image. So I'll delete all the previous messages. Oh, let's go in the food donation. And in the chat messages, I'll delete all the messages. Okay, so when I reload the page now, so now I don't see those messages. Okay, now let's try again. Let's try to put now. Okay, let's put some message. For example, test one. I get test one here, and this is my another account where with whom I'm chatting. So I will here test two, and once I put test two, I get test two here. Okay, so I'm able to chat with this. So this is me, and this is the one with whom. So I should also put the name below it, because right now I'm only able to see the image, no name. So let's try to put the name also here. So this is the div, and we have the, we have, and this is a p is a value message. Message goes here. Let's see what CSS they are using. Okay, so I may put into, let's first put the name below it, and then we'll see to align it using CSS. It will be name. Let's display the name. Okay, so name is right now coming here instead of below. So let's try to let's try to let's try to do some CSS adjustment. I will say div class name equal to row so right now, just to don't do it. Let me first finish for MD3, for example, and then we have 9. Put name here in the 3 part, and in the 9 I'll put this value and message, and let's see now. So still my name is not coming correctly below it. Let's put it in the p tag. Okay, let's put this also inside. Okay, now we need to arrange it. So generally, when I put, let's see, generally when I put, okay, so the problem was with float, so no need to make it p tag right now. If I remove the float, it should work fine. Okay, because the image is saying float left, and so let me remove all the cases and then I'll fix separately. Okay, so now if I inspect, okay, okay, so I'm putting name on this side, and I'm also putting, I also want this to be little darker. Him should be darker, bold, and small. So let's make some custom CSS for this. I'll say inside messages dot name. I'll create a class of dot name. I'll make font size of, for example, 12 pixel, and font weight, maybe I'll say bold, and I'll give this class to my name. Okay, so it becomes small and bold. So I can see the name, who is chatting with whom. So just you can put any CSS. Just put this name part below the image tag, which I will give in the chat. Also put this CSS in the messages.css file to make it bolder and smaller. Okay, in the chat, you don't have to do in the chat. In the messages.js, just first below the image tag, add this div tag.
I was referring to what you did the first where you took out the to name or from name or something.
Okay, that one. That one also, yeah, right. That one you want to.
I didn't have my thing up, so I wasn't able to follow.
Okay, so in the chat.js, for the display name, it was from display name and from image. So change it to display name and image. And here also display name and image. And delete the to display name and to image. And rename the from display name to display name and from image to image.
Totally delete the whole line, the two.
Yeah, okay. I'll copy and paste it here. This is here to put in the. This is here to put and remove the from and to display name and from image and to image and replace with what I put it in the chat.
What about object 2?
Same object 2 also keep it
Same thing.
same thing, display name and image and remove the from and to.
No.
And in the messages, just add this div line with the name, and in the messages.css, just add this. I put this all in the chat. Okay. So now we are able to chat properly with the particular opponent or particular person. So we should also be able to see all the users list with whom I am chatting or with whom I chatted. So to get this users list, if I go to database, let's say my user ID is this W5F3, and here I will see all the list of the users with whom I have chatted. So here I will put all the users' name based on what I have chatted with all these users. So let's build the query for this and try to put all this here. So for example, I will maybe create another, I will copy this code on the left side one. Yeah, this users list, I will copy this code, left side one, all users list. This is all users list, and I will put it in another component. So I'll create a new component. Maybe I'll say chat users.js. I'll open this chat users.js. I'll create a component, and here I'll say chat users, and I'll put whole code here, whatever I paste copied from that side. And now I will call this in my chat file. So here I will say chat users, and I will import here the chat users from chat_users.js, and I'll see it should be same, looking same, no difference. So I'm able to see on the left side all the users list. So now we will make it dynamic. So before we make it dynamic, you copy this part. So just put the import part here in the chat.js, and where we have all the users list, just put this line of the code and delete all the lines, and or cut all the lines and paste it in the chat users.js. So I will copy chat users.js also, and I'll give you in the chat. So in the chat.js, first you import it, which I gave the import statement. Then where all user list is there, replace with chat users, and then create a chat user component, paste all the code here. Okay, let's go further now. Now in the chat users, I need this Firebase part. So I will copy this Firebase part here. This Firebase part, I need it here because I will be calling Firebase. So I copy here. I'll give in the chat. You can also copy it in the chat users.js. Okay, is it done? Okay. Okay, yeah, I got it. I'm just thinking what is the best way to implement this one. Okay. So now I'm just thinking what is the best way to got this. So here when we do some on kind of thing, we added the child added. Let's try to build something here only. Maybe we will create some variable here only, and we will pass that variable to chat users. And if we can do that successfully, then we will remove these two lines of the code which will not be needed. So previously I was thinking I will put the Firebase part here, but that will create some complications in future. So when I create this chat message, I will do something here only to get this chat users, and then I will pass those as a props to this chat users to display it. So here I will, in the state, I will create one more parameter. Now you don't write down till I complete it, because a lot of things will be changed. Okay, so now what I will do, I will create one more variable here that will be chat users. It will be null initially. Cat users will be null, and I will create this state here only when I create this variable. So maybe I'll create one function and then I'll call this. I'll say get chat users, and here I'll get the UID. That will be the from UID. That will the logged in users UID. This will be the logged in user ID, and I'll call this function here in this one. So after this, I can say get chat users. So I will call this dot get chat users, and from ID will be this is something, this one. Okay, and I will also say from ID is not there, then also return false. We need from ID also. If from ID is not there, then also I return false. I need that also when going with just dealing with this one. Okay, so now I created this function. I reference this function. Let's fill this function. First, I'll see whether I'm reaching this point or not. Console.log hey, and I will see what is the UID coming. And let's see now. So if I go on log in the console.log, I should see hey and the user ID who is logged in. So I'm successfully able to reach this point. So this I'm inside this point. Now similarly, I created this reference. I will call this URL first. The URL will be messages. Inside messages, if you see, we have the user ID who is logged in. So I will go to the user ID who is logged in. So I'll create another reference here. The reference will be this path, that is the messages, that is the URL, and child will be from UID. Instead of from UID, I'll put this UID. This is a from UID only, but I named it to UID. And I don't need child UID. Okay, I need only up till the reference. That is the from UID. That is the who is logged in. So UID is person who is logged in. And I will see all the users whom he is chatting with. So this is all the users whom I am chatting with. So now what I will do reference. So maybe I can create an array of var chat users equal to array. I will say array, and then I will say reference dot on. Here I will use value, not the child added. I will use value. LU will give me all the results, and here I will say snapshot, and it's an arrow function. Now I will see what is coming here in this. Now let's see what is coming here in the snapshot. So I will do console.log snapshot.wall, and I'll rename this here. I'll say chat users. Now since I will be getting all the chat users here, so creating this var outside it does not make sense. So I'll put that inside the reference.on. I'll put this chat users array in the reference.on, and then when I get these results, I will convert it into array and I will update this chat users. So if I go to my page, so it's saying chat users, and I get one result. And I'm also getting all the messages. Let's say tomorrow 500 messages are there. So that means I will be getting 500 messages. That I don't want it. Because if I am querying, I should only get this one. I don't need this one, all other messages. So what I will do, so my idea of calling this, will this be okay, or I need to change this? Right now, if I'm calling this method, I am actually calling all the records. Let's say tomorrow I chatted with this user 500 times. So 500 messages will come here, and that payload, I don't want it. I want only this user ID. Okay, so what I will do, whenever I'm adding the message, so whenever I'm sending this message, at that time I will create another block of key, and I will use that block. So what I will do, so here it's saying send message, and here I will say I will create another path, and here I will say Firebase reference URL child with the from user ID, and then child, and then to user ID, and after to user ID I will put something here. What should I put? I will decide now. So maybe I will create another object called as var view obj equal to, I will create some object and I will update that object here. So it will be like okay. So what will be this user object? So I have from user ID, I have to user ID. Maybe I can say maybe here inside the chat messages, I may not need chat messages. I'll create URL 2. Instead of messages, I will create, maybe I can say chat users. Okay, let's create chat users. And inside the chat users, I will put from user ID, and I will put to user ID. And after to user ID, I will put maybe the timestamp. Okay, so let's put the timestamp. So kind of I will say dot set, and I'll put a timestamp. Similarly, I'll copy this one and I'll paste this one here. Here I will say URL 3, and here it will be, first will be the to user ID, and then will be the UID, and here I will also set timestamp. This way I will be able to see with whom I have chatted it. So now if I delete this part, let's delete this one, and I'll refresh this one. So right now I don't have messages. If I put hi, and if I go to the here, still I don't see the one. Okay, let's delete again. Let's see what is the problem with code. So I'm okay. By mistake I put this URL. It should be URL 3, and here it should be URL 2. So I created two URLs. Actually, I don't need this 3 one. It's same as 2. So I will here pass as URL 2. Okay, so once I pass URL 2, I should be able to now do that. If I put, let's say, test, and if I go to here I can see now messages. So I chatted with this message, and also I see the chat users. So for this user, I have another user, this one, and for this user, I have another user, this one. Now when displaying, how will I display? I can, if I'm logged in with this W5, I will go through all the users list, and then I will go to the user and get the record. So it is a two-way process. Either I can do that one, that I can go through all the user and then go to the users tree and find what is the username it is. Or since it is only one data, that is the display name, I can put directly this name directly here inside this result, so that I don't need to query 2 times. And anyhow, I'm not saving it big data. If it's lot of data like this, then we need to create this data here. But since it is only one name kind of thing, an image kind of thing, so I may put it here. So instead of putting only timestamp, I will create an object and I will put object there. So let's create another object. So I'll say or obj3 or f obj equal to object, and inside object I will put three things. One will be the display name, second will be the image, third will be the timestamp. Maybe I can say updated time or updated date, and updated date will be this one, and then I will set it with this data. Okay, so I will be able to see this details. Same thing I will create it for here var to obj t obj and display name image timestamp, and I'll use t obj and I'll put it here. Instead of set all the timestamp, I'll put t obj. So I'm putting three details. One is the display name, image, and updated date. Let's delete all this again. And I'll refresh it. And I'll put some message. Once I put this message, okay, so I am getting, see, I'm using, this is my logged in ID, and this is the to user ID, but my image is coming with my name. My name is W1. Okay, so here W5 is my ID, so this name is correct. But here I have to change it because here I'm getting my ID, my name only, whereas I'm chatting with this 7E. So when I'm using the to one from to, that is here from to, here instead of putting my details, I should put other person's detail. Are you getting me? What is the problem? Here when I'm using this is from and this is to, I'm chatting, this is from and this is to, and I'm only putting my detail name and photo instead of opponent's photo. So I should change this part, otherwise I won't get the proper image name. Okay, let's see how to get opponent's one. Where is the opponent's one? Opponent is saved in the, let's see where is the opponent's detail coming. It's coming in the my reducer to user details. So I will use to user details. Here I will say my username, my reducer. Here I will say first block, to user details and display name. And this part also will be to user details dot display name. I'll delete it again. And I'll test it again. So let's refresh the page. So here I will say test. Once I say test, if I go here, so now this is my user ID, and this is I'm chatting with 7E, and I'm putting his name. And when this user is chatting with me, he will be able to see my name. So now it's correct. Now I should be able to display this user list correctly. So when I go to, I will take this URL. When I go to this messages or in the chat only, when I want to display the chat users, here it will be not messages, it will be chat users. So I will go to the chat users. Inside chat users, I will put the from ID, that is this from ID, and I will try to get all the users list. Let's see now what is coming here. So if I see chat users, I will see this is my opponent's ID, and then inside the opponent's ID, I can see display name, image, and updated date. So now what I will do, I will create an array. Okay. Now while adding it here, when I created this object, I can also save this ID also. Right now I'm not saving ID here inside it, I'm putting ID here only. But tomorrow when I convert this this part, this snapshot.vol into array, I will lose this ID. So either I have to save this ID before conversion, or better is I can also save the ID here. So I will also say ID. So ID will be user ID. And for the last case, I will also save ID so that it will be easy for me to grab the ID, and here it will be from user ID. Now I will delete it again and I'll get the data. So now I'll say text, and then I will see here inside that I get ID also now. So now I'm okay, I can get the ID also. So now let's display this thing into the left side chat users. So before I display into the chat user, I get whole details inside in the form of object. So we need to convert it into array. So here I will say if, or maybe I can put something var result equal to snapshot.vol. And if I say if not result, return, means if I don't get anything, then I don't need the chat users and I won't display anything. Okay, but if I get something, then I should be able to display it. Okay, so now what I will do, I will loop through this and make it an array. So as I did here, no, here I did not did here anything because it was coming in array, I think. No, it was coming in object, but I was pushing. So let's convert this object to, this is an object. Let's convert this to array. So before I convert to array, whatever I explained you, is this clear or I should repeat the last part? Either I should repeat whatever I showed you because I did too many things, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay, so what I did when I was saving the messages, if I will use the messages part to retrieve the user details, I'm getting all the messages list. Since I'm getting all the messages list, it is very inefficient. I get all, let's say tomorrow I'm chatting with this guy 500 times, this guy 500 times. So there will be a lot of records coming here. So it becomes very inefficient on my side. So what I did, instead of taking all the user from the messages part, I created another key value pair in the chat users where I'm only saving with whom I'm chatting and his important details, and with whom I'm chatting and his important details. So like this, I isolated the users in this tree. So if I want to retrieve the opponent, I will use only this tree, not this tree. So what I did, I created one object and saved it in one path. I created second object to user ID 1 and I created another path. And similarly, when retrieving the results, I went to this another tree from the user ID, the one who is logged in, and I get all the users with whom he has chatted. So if he has chatted with 10 users, I will get all 10 users in this result. Now what I will do, I will loop through this object and make it into array. So how to make it in array? I will say for let p in result. This is a standard way to convert object to array. So I create a variable key using the let command, and in object is the result. Now if I want to see what is the key, console.log key is key and result is result. I will see this is coming as a key and this is coming as a result. Let's check this one. So I am getting key as the user ID and the result is object, that is okay, result should be not result of key, but this is a one particular record and this key is the first key. So I'm getting key here as the key and the result is coming the whole details, display name, ID, image and updated date. So now I will take this parameter and put it in this chat user array. So here I will say chat user dot push and I will try to push this part. So now if I want to see what is there in the chat users, I will see console.log chat users is chat users. So I can see chat users as zeroth number with all the details. So let's try to do here. I will be trying to manipulate it with sorting and filtering, no pagination, sorting and filtering I will be doing so that if I have 100 users I'm chatting with, I can also filter it, or I should be able to sort it based on the last one with whom I chatted. So I will put this sorting filtering in some time, but right now let's put this chat user in the state. So here I will say this dot set state chat users. Okay, so this chat users will be equal to this chat user. This is the chat user I am taking and putting it here, and this chat user is something in state variable, and this chat user I will pass to the chat user component. Here I will say chat users is equal to this dot state dot chat users, and I will try to retrieve this in the chat users. Here I will say console.log props is equal to this dot props. I will see what is coming as a chat users. So once I refresh, so I'm getting props of chat users and I'm getting one chat user like this. I'm getting this details with whom I'm chatting with. So I will put this detail here to display this. A lot of things have happened. I feel that you copy and paste it before we move further. So in the chat users only, just put this dot props dot chat users One second. So now let's do the things. Only in the chat user.js, just put this console.log and we will go through one by one step. So now once you are done with this, I'll tell you what to do in this one. Okay, now if you go to chat.js, create this function get chat users UID and put this lines of the code here. So just put in the get chat users, these lines of the code. Okay, now where you created this function send message, in the send message you have to create after the first Firebase database.reference URL, you have to create these 3 lines of the code. Okay, so this 3 lines of code before object 2. Okay, now after this object to Firebase database URL, just put these 2 lines of the code. Okay, is it done?
I'm getting one squiggly line. I can't figure out why.
Okay, it's after the Firebase database reference URL, before set state message. Before set state message, put these 2 lines of the code. Okay, and now, yeah, that's pretty much. And in the chat users part, just pass the state variable like this. Okay, now let's move to further. Now I want to display this all the list. So to display the list, I will go to the chat users, and we have this as an array. And here first check I will do is if I don't get this, if this is not there, then just return null. I don't want to see the errors if I don't have this chat users. So I can return null. Or there is another way also, which I will tell you now. Here, I want to display all the chat users. So I will say curly bracket here, I'll put. And then here I will say this dot props dot chat user dot map. And here I will pass an arrow function. And here I will say, since it is an array, we use map value key. And inside this, I will return this row. So since I return this row, I will delete all other 3 rows. Okay, so I deleted all 3 rows, and I'm returning one row here. Now here I will pass the key equal to key, and in the value, what things I have saved. One is value dot display name. So here I will say value dot display name. Another thing, I have image. So in the image with the alt, I will say same thing. Value dot display name will be in the alt. And next thing, we have image. And in the image, I will say value dot image. I will say 2 things. I'll see how it displays. So I'm getting this Ambi Ahuja, all the users list. And when I click this image, or I click this image name, display name, I should be able to open this chat page. That we will do later on, not now. But we have to do that. So if I have number of users, I should be able to click it, and I should be able to chat with that user. So that part we have to do. I will not do today that thing, but at least I will show all the users list here. So now what happens when I don't have this null part? Let's delete this null part. And I'll refresh it. So you will see here I'm getting error. So because initially when I go to the Firebase, come back, there is a time gap. So in that time gap, I'm getting this error because this map does not work on this part, because this is not available. Because when it goes to the Firebase, come back from the Firebase, then only it will be available. So I put this check, right? Not one. But if I don't want to put this one, there is another method also, which is like this. So I will copy this chat users and I will paste it here. and I will say end. So before map, I will use the same variable which is here, and I put and end. And if I use this method, it will check if this exists or not. If it does not exist, it will not go to this part. It will end from here only. But if it gets something here, then it will display this part. So now I'm not getting error. No, I am not getting any error. So this is another way. Either I can put it here or I can use this way. Right now in this exercise, we will use this way, so that we should also aware of this method, how to do this one. So now in the chat users, I will delete this one. We don't need it. And I will give you this internal part, which you can copy and paste it in the chat users. Let me know when is it done.
You show your code, please.
What you want? So what you want to see the code, or you want it? I posted it in the chat also.
I don't know. I'm lost. I don't know what I need to change.
Okay, so this part inside the all users, after this all users list, just delete everything and put this part which I've given in the chat. In the chat users.js, after the all users list, put this part which I gave in the chat inside the chat users.js.
I have some error.
Okay, let me see. Where should I go? KK or KK02?
Let me invite you. Okay. Yeah. This one. See my message page. There
Right.
is nothing.
Open the console log. Every time whenever you open the page, you should not be opening without console.log. Where is the console.log? And where is the chat and slash? You have to put the slash user ID. Right now we haven't created this main page. You should have something in the URL. It should be chat and you have to put some ID.
Oh.
Okay, which ID you are chatting with. So go to your Firebase, you can see, or you can put, go to Firebase console.log, get some ID and put that.
Slow.
That's low, I think. Okay, go to users, go down. So you have only one user. You have to log in with another browser so that you should be able to chat with that user. So go to another browser, go to localhost 3000 and log in with your different Gmail ID. Not here, not here, not here. Copy the URL.
Copy this one.
And put it in another browser.
Oh.
Not here, another browser. This is same browser. You have to open Firefox. Yeah, enter it. So user object is null. Okay, go to localhost 3000 only. We need to fix this one. We will fix this one after some time. I think we fixed this one. We don't have latest code. Okay, we'll do that one. Yeah, login. Let's see. Open the console.log also. You know, open the Firebug. Click login. What's happening? Okay, something is not correct. Let's see. You know, whenever you work, you should open the console.log, even if it's Firebase or or Firefox or Chrome or what. Why you're not opening the console.log? So there is a Firebug. You have to see what is the error coming. Kate, are you there? Kate, I cannot hear you.
I can hear you.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Mine's working. I was able to log in under 2 Gmail accounts and chat back and forth.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. So I can fix my issue later. We can continue because I think my network is slow. So I will follow your way to create to log in my server.
Yeah, we will come back again. Maybe you copy my files and then we'll see.
Yes.
Somewhere you might have done some spelling mistake or some not proper pasting. So now,
Yes.
okay, now let's go to here. So right now I logged in with another browser also. I am able to see 2 users. Now I am able to see this. Now the main thing is sorting is the problem. I want all the messages which is coming. So latest message should come in the top so that all previous messages should go down. So let's fix that one and then we will close for today. So if we go to our create one, if we go to our result container, we did something sorting here. So we put this dynamic sort property here, and I want to use in the chat also this property. So what I will do, I will copy this property and I will delete it from here and I will put it in the functions. Okay, so let's put this in the function.js so that I can use it everywhere. So I can say dynamic export constant and I'll give the name dynamic constant is equal to property and I will make it arrow function like this. And then I will say I will use this dynamic sort. So right now only I edit in the functions.js file. I will give you in the chat also. Later on you can put it. Later on, tomorrow I will delete it from this result container. Right now I'm not deleting it because it will take too many extra steps to delete it and then call back from functions. So tomorrow I will delete from results container. Right now I add it into the functions.js and I will call that in my chat. So let's call this in the chat. I will say import dynamic sort from utilities functions.js, and then I will use it like I used it here. So how I used it, I use it like this here. And same thing, I will use it for the first. I will use it for the chat users, and for chat users, I will say I know what fields to sort. I don't want our users output. I know what fields to be sort. So instead of the my array, I will use the chat users. And instead of this, I will use only dynamic sort because we have dynamic sort already called here. And here I will put the field name to which I want to sort. So what field name I want to put? I want to do it with the updated date. And here I will say minus updated date. If I put updated date, it's ascending. And if I want to do descending, I will use minus updated date. So now I will see how it looks. So now you will see this one is coming at the top and this one is coming at the bottom because this one I'll chat it last. And if I put something here, you will see now this has come up and this has come second because now I'm chatted with this guy. Now if I chat again with this guy, let's see if I chat with this guy, what happened. I'm chatting now with this guy in another browser. Once I chatted this, web development goes up. So whoever I'm chatting will see in the top. That's the purpose of my code. So just remember this, you can copy my code after I commit it because I don't want you to waste time now. Just see how I did. So for starting, I did this part and I added this one and I added in the functions.js this function. So I will give you again, I gave this functions.js this part and the chat part you can add after class is over and you have to put this part here. Same thing I will do with the same thing I have to do with this part. I want to show the messages which are recent at the top. So I will go again. I copied this code and here I have my array. So before I display my array, let's see what are the fields for this message. So for the messaging, we have the fields called as message date. So here I will change it to message date. So now message date is in descending order. So whoever comes first will go down and the latest one, the last one will be displayed at the top. So now you will see last one is displayed here. Now I will type something. It goes up. Okay. It is coming up. So whatever messages I am typing, it is coming up. Yes, let me type with another user. So MB has written. So all the messages should come at the top. Recent one should be at the top. That's 1 second now, about 7 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 2 minutes, 18 minutes. So the old messages are going down. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay. So if you want to copy, just in the chat.js, add this statement at the top. After that, if you go to the chat users function, just add this line of the code. before the set state. Before the set state, add this line of the code. Okay, and before the in the function of display chat message, before the this dot set state, you have to add this line of the code. So before the set state of my array, okay, so that's it for today.